Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm in a particularly good mood today because prior to this, I met with a bunch of my friends, and you know, at first I told them I couldn't make it, but I decided to change my mind and decide to make the time and go and see them. And I think I made a really good decision. I had a really good time, and those social interactions, really uplifts me time to time. So, really good mood today, really, really good. So, welcome to another episode of Dave's Digital Diary. I really hope that you enjoyed today's episode. So, let's go. Did you guys ever give up your dream and pick a 9 to 5 job? I did. I remember in school art class, when we were little, we were given a task to draw, what do you want to be when you grow older? And I drew myself as a race car driver. I really love cars and I still love them now. When I showed that to my mother, she told me that race car driving should be a hobby. She was much happier when I drew, a picture of myself being a doctor or president. Since then, countless of dreams have been created only to be crushed, dissolved, or forgotten. And now I'm a data engineer working on a 9 to 5 job for a relatively big company. And if you ask me 10 or 15 years ago, of my past David, and I told that person that this is the job and this is what I was doing, I think the first thing I'd ask my future self would have been, so how much do you get paid? The fact that I asked that question over everything else, tells me that somewhere in my life, I've traded my dreams for money. And I want to talk about it. So sit back and enjoy a bit of a story time with Dave. When I was growing up, I witnessed and experienced my parents struggle with money. Whenever my mum used to take me to our local supermarket, there would have been a lot of Hot Wheel toy cars in the end of the each shopping aisle, and I used to beg for my mum for buying a couple of those Hot Wheel cars, but it was always often a no. It was not like we're homeless or anything, or they failed to take care of me. In fact, despite their money troubles, my parents still managed to send me to those extracurricular activities such as cram school, swimming school, or art classes, even though none of them really lasted that long. There are always used to be things to do after school, and that made sense because they were working most of the time and they had to make sure that I didn't waste time or fall behind in school. More often than not, I'd rent one of those VCR tapes. Remember VCR tapes? Wow, I'm showing my age here. Of Dragon Ball Z, and I'd watch the same episode over and over again until my parents came back, or my grandmother would look after me with my cousins until I was picked up late at night. I didn't mind at all, by the way. Like, it was fun while it lasted. I wish I didn't go to cram school as much though. And there were some really stressful moments. I clearly remember the fights and the arguments. I won't get into the details because I don't want the world to know about my parents' past. But I'm just very thankful that they've gone past it and they're still here today. It's a true testament to their relationship. Things have gotten a lot better since then, and we've migrated to a new country. And over time, my parents have gotten really good at managing money. They've also shared me some of their valuable lessons. Money is hard to come by. Money should always be saved for a rainy day. You should only spend money when you absolutely have to. Always put saving money first instead of succumbing to your desires. Now, I'm not saying that this is the only reason why I am like this today. In fact, I'll never know for sure that this is exact one or what are the exact ones. But, when I started to connect the dots, it helped me understand some of my habits and feelings. I feel guilty whenever I buy something I want, even though I can afford it and I am saving money. Money can always be used for better purposes and can be saved for later. I take less risks, and I'm often opposed to spending money to make money. The only time you are allowed to spend money is on education and property. Other than that, it should always get locked into a savings account. I've knowingly put aside my dreams to pick a safe corporate job and make sure it's one of those big companies so you can work there till retirement. Get your nice paid leave, get your nice bonus, enjoy your company benefits. My dad told me this because he and my mum had run a restaurant for a good 30 years of their life. And this is a lesson that comes from them. I get upset at spending money on other people or in new experiences. I already need to save, and I only have so much money to buy the stuff I want. And you're asking me to spend money on other people? I found this incredibly difficult to accept when I was dating with my wife in the past. Funny enough, money was a common theme in some of our fights that we had in the past. I go through extreme lengths to save money. Let me give you an example. I used to make $1 per serving pasta. So this is how it goes. You go to the grocery store and you either buy the 2-star mince TM meat, or you get a heavily discounted near expiry mince, and then you get some frozen vegetables that's on sale, and you get some pasta sauces that are on sale, and then you just cook them up, and it used to be just under 90 something cents per serving, and I used to eat that every lunchtime back in the day. But the taste was always disgusting, but the fact that I was eating under $1 per serving pasta with mince, I call that a win back in the day. When I buy things that I know that I shouldn't have bought, I get a real good kick out of it. Like, I get this adrenaline rush as if I'm stealing something. It feels like that I've done something wrong, and me buying it despite me knowing that I shouldn't have bought it makes me feel rebellious, It's a bit of a F you to my righteous consciousness. And I think I've done this a bit too much from time to time. So I think it's safe to conclude that I'm putting money over a lot of the things. Although I think I'm managing it, I think I am walking on this fine line. Now, what do I think of all this? Well, what do you think? Well, I think it is what it is. I'm very privileged to be where I am today, and I'm happy to be alive and healthy. Although there are times where I think I put money over things that perhaps shouldn't have been, there's a lot of what ifs floating around my head from time to time. But the good news is that I've identified these habits. I can actually choose to do something about it. I can try to strike a good balance, knowing that I know my inherent biases and these default decision factors. I just think of it like a safety mechanism, like a life lesson that my parents have learned through their blood, sweat, and tears, and it keeps me grounded to ensure that I have what I need to survive in this world. Although, I don't think you can thrive in this world this way. Maybe I'm wrong. Only time will tell. In saying that, I also think, I live in a very different world compared to my parents' upbringing and their circumstances. It's definitely not Korea back in the 1990s anymore. They have their fair share of GFCs in their lives and other financial mishaps and unfortunate circumstances, which would have preferred saving money than investing or taking more relaxed approach when it comes to dealing with money. Also, there would have been no social security over there. And back in the day, every third world country had a huge family. So a big safety net would have been a must for them. I'm lucky and thankful that I can afford to start putting things in front of money because of the sacrifices and lessons that my parents had to go through. And I'm still young-ish, so I can always make more money, but you can't rewind time. So I'll try to strike a good balance. And that's it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Tell me what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.